Speaking of other ways Donald Trump is screwing America. In this case, we're getting screwed with the help of the Republican Party in the Senate. According to Politico, the fate of Obamacare repeal is not yet certain, but the hallmarks, the way that this process has been carried out has been so opaque, so authoritarian in the sense that they have kept this conversation from the general public throughout the entire process of the senatorial process here. And now we're getting to the point where Republicans are turning on it because they realize what's potentially getting ready to come out is even worse than what the House representatives put out in their version of the American Health Care Act. There are several reports that saying that the CBO score for this is going to actually be even more negative than what the House version of this bill actually had. And so the whip, Mitch McConnell's whip, is saying that they are short of the 50 votes, but they're looking as though they're going to go ahead and push for the vote anyway. There are 7 Republicans who are saying that they are not going, or they're not on board yet for the bill. So there's a possibility that this bill will come up for a vote and go down in flames, which is a fascinating spin in one way specific. It's fascinating because they're going through a lot to keep this as clandestine as possible, to keep it away from the public as much as possible. And I'm wondering if they're doing that because they want to go through the motions to pass this legislation without taking the political hits for this legislation. In other words, they want to go through the motions. They know that they're not going to pass it. They already know about 7 senators, Republican senators, are going to vote against it. Of course, all the Democrats are going to vote against it. And so they know this legislation is pretty much dead on arrival, but they have to go through the motions because if they don't go through the motions, then they will be attacked. But the question is, who are they going to be attacked by? Because the bill is so unpopular, just even bringing it up is undermining them. But they have to do the Potomac 2-step. They have to go through the motion and act as though that they're going to at least give it its day on the Senate floor, knowing full well that it probably won't pass. And so if they could do that without actually having the public see what's in the bill, then they could say, well, we voted for it, it didn't pass, and we can move on. So I guess it actually makes sense. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to go through the motions. They're trying to go through the motions without the political price of letting the public see what's actually in this version of Trumpcare, which, according to some insiders, is worse than the House version of it. The danger here is that this bill could still pass. Everything that we just said, the bill can still pass, and we could end up with a piece of legislation that's going to knock 24 million more Americans off of their health care, and a piece of legislation that's going to reshape a large portion of our entire economy without anyone having seen it. No one has seen it. In fact, Senator John McCain said, no one in America has seen it. I don't know if it was tongue in cheek, but it was funny. He said, no one in America has seen it, but I bet the Russians have seen it. So, you know, whatever that's worth.